all. Wow, we do have people coming in. I left my volume up. Sorry about that. Wrong direction. There it goes. Almighty morning, everyone. Welcome to Communication Connections with my guest. I'm just going to say Rose because I don't want to butcher her first name. So, Rose Perez. So, welcome in. Are you? Oh, wait a minute. There you go. Okay, you froze there for a minute. I'm going, wait a minute. Is she live? Yeah. So, Rose is back. She was here before, but she's back because she has a message to present to all of you what she's gone through. I know she touched base on it last time, but she really didn't get into it. Hello, Sandra. And we'll see what the second half brings because we usually do the questions, but you might have questions on what she's talking about on the subject. So it's definitely up to her on what she does, and she'll let us know when that time comes. So a grand Wednesday, Julie Rose, everything. Yeah. Welcome in, Sandra. Sandra is, of course, from Canada. I'm almost positive I'm right on that one. Now I'm getting mixed up. Davey, we never find out where you're from, so if you can let us know, I appreciate that. All right. So, Rose, please tell us about you.
Okay.
You ready?
Oh. As you know, Julie, I wear many hats, but my favorite is being a mother. So I'm a mom, and I'm an herbalist. I'm a gardener, and I own a small business called Chasing Hawks Botanicals, where I sell a lot of desert-inspired plant medicine and remedies and all that good stuff. So that's who I am. Yes.
But you're not, oh, you're in Boston. Okay. You're not a regular gardener because in Arizona, things are different here. There's native plants that aren't available anywhere else in the United States. Now, I won't say they're not available in the lower Sonoran Desert, which runs into Mexico, because they are. But we are very different here. We have 7 different growing seasons, and they can be layered on top of each other. And there's so much to learn about gardening here that it's not cut and dry. There's a lot of experiment. So what have you learned from the gardening side being here as a native in Arizona?
Well, I first started with the Master Gardener program, the Maricopa Master Gardener program, and I moved over to Pinal County where we would grow and harvest food, and that's just like the basics, the herbs, the, tomatoes and all that good stuff. But I just fell in love with the desert and cacti. And so I've been super lucky to be able to have gotten into Desert Botanical Gardens. I was volunteering there for about 5 years. Now I just moved over to Boyce Thompson Arboretum, which is amazing. It's so beautiful. But just working closely with cacti. I mean, I've had so many splinters in my body and so many things going on, but I just absolutely love them. I think the cactus flower is like the most beautiful, I have quite a few that only bloom at night, and it's so amazing. I run out there to get photos of them, but it's just, I also, have a pretty nice sized backyard where I walk a lot, and it's a lot of clay soil, and I'm just walking all the time, and I just see the creosote bushes and the Palo Verde trees and all that beautiful medicine that I had no idea what it was years ago, but it wasn't until I did a lot of research and I started incorporating a lot of the desert plants into the medicine that I make. And it just made complete sense to me because, we adapt to the environment that we live in. You know what I mean? And so our bodies are going to be adapted. We're going to be resilient like the desert. And I feel like by adding all the nutrition, such as, the mesquite powder that has tons of protein and all that great stuff, I just feel that It's beautiful. It's a great way to heal ourselves. And maybe if I were to move up to a different state, then I would look at some of the plant medicine in that area and be able to use it for myself. That's pretty much. I like to call myself a desert desert herbalist, or excuse me, desert herbalist, because it just makes sense to me.
Yeah.
So yeah.
And I do have one of your products here I've been using. Let's see.
Golden Child Healing Salve. Oh yeah.
And I have a problem, as I've talked to you about, and I've said many times on here, with putting anything on my skin, especially my legs. Well, this is working.
Oh, good. I'm so glad to hear that. And it has jojoba oil in it. I know.
Yes, and it's the jojoba oil that is the one that is different that I haven't used by itself. But it might be the beeswax, the calendula or calendula, however you want to pronounce that, and the basil and all the ingredients in there. It might be that, but it might be just the jojoba that's making the huge difference. It's working a little bit too well. I will explain that to you later sometimes, but I'm going to give it to a friend to test out my theory.
Oh wow.
And so we'll see what happens with that, because it might be beneficial for more than just what it says. The healing says for soothe all skin irritations, dry patches, diaper rash, and cradle cap. It might be more than that, but we'll see.
Okay. That's nice to hear. I have plenty of it, so.
Yes, we'll get. And just to plug, you will be at a market this weekend on June 7th at 28 North Ironwood in Apache Junction. And you will have all your products there.
Yes, I will.
Not only that, but you also have a shelf in Smoothie Connect that is at 28 North Ironwood. And that's there Tuesday through Saturday, 9 to 5. If you're in the area, please run over there and grab some. Take a look at it. It is, she has great products, and she doesn't have them all there right now. So come to the market and see a little bit more.
Grab a delicious smoothie.
Yes, and say hi to Chef Ricky and Katie while you're there. Sorry to get off on that, because you have so much more to talk to us about. It is back to roots, is basically what you're talking about, and it's to heal. So, what is your story? How did you get here?
Well, I was trying to go back many times to see when exactly it started, and I know that it was from the passing of my father. He passed in 2013.
She keeps
A
freezing.
really hard time, like going.
You froze up a little bit. Can you say that again?
Oh, through grief and pain is when I just first started looking into natural medicine. I saw, I had so much experience in the healthcare facilities, nursing homes, hospitals, and it was just very sad to have him go through all that. If I would have known what I know now, I may have been able to extend his life, I believe. But unfortunately, it didn't happen that way. But that's what kind of had me start doing research and figuring out that there's better ways to heal, and what there's such a lack of compassion in the nursing facilities, and it's just the nutrition that they give them is all wrong. And I mean, there's just so much. And as you know, we're trying to work on that as well, and trying to bring some light into the facilities to help others as well. And that's in the future. But I would say that's where it began. In 2015, I got certified over at Southwest Herb Shop in Mesa, where I got my certification, and just little by little, I started using the plant medicine on myself and on my family, and eventually my community, friends. And so it just started, very slow. But basically, I would say the breast implant illness is what my message is about today. And that happened, I believe I first began having symptoms in 2020. And so that was actually right around, it was March of 2020, and that's when they declared COVID-19 at the time. So I did get COVID, never got vaccinated, thank goodness, but I did get COVID, and along with my family, and we all ended up, healing from it. We were all feeling great. But throughout the year, up until December of 2020, I still had tons of symptoms, so many things going on, and I just couldn't understand what was happening, so I can name a few of the symptoms. I think that's important just so you can know the extent. I have a few notes here because I don't want to forget what I'm saying, but some of the symptoms were like choking sensations, anxiety, depression, difficulty swallowing, dry hair, dry skin, easy bruising, mental fog, fatigue, hair loss, headaches, heart palpitations, inflammation everywhere, insomnia, joint pain, weight loss, memory loss, a metallic taste in my mouth, muscle joint pain, night sweats, numbness, swollen gums, panic attacks, rashes, shortness of breath, tingling on my hands and feet, and severe itching on my chest and my back. So those, I may have left a few out, but I did write notes down throughout my process just because I had no idea what was going on, and I just made sure to write everything down. So I continued having all those symptoms up until, like I said, December. And I had already had a fear and a dislike with the healthcare system. So it was really hard for me to go and get medical treatment, but I ended up making that choice because I was so desperate. I thought I was going to die. And so I ended up getting consultations, evaluations, blood work, all of it. And all my results came back normal. I'm a mom, and I just had so much fear. I just, for my kids, I was like, I have to do this. I have to figure out what it is. And the only thing that it could have been is, I thought, is the implants. And I do know that I gave you a photo of the breast implants. That was the night before I decided to get the explant and take them out. But prior to that, I had gone to 2 explant doctors because I started doing research, and I saw a lot of women, like women groups, that they were having some of the similar symptoms. So I ended up going to 2 explant doctors, and I ultimately went and chose a doctor. He was a little more expensive, but he was amazing, and he answered all my questions. And it's really important that I have to mention this. Out of the 2 doctors, there was one that was going to charge me, roughly $2,000. And what he was going to do is open me up, take out the implant, close it up, and that's it. The other explant doctor explained to me that how important it was to, obviously get in there, take the implant out, and take everything else out, the capsule that gets formed inside the body. So
wait a second, a capsule?
So what happens is that, like with everything, our bodies weren't meant for any of this, and so our bodies are so beautiful, and we can heal ourselves, and we can heal with time. And so I learned that the body forms, like the implant is in there, and with time the body forms like a hard capsule around the implant because it wants to push it out of our body, just like a splinter, like a cactus splinter that I get in all the time. Sometimes they get in so deep. Yes. I mean, one time it took me a year to get one out, but eventually the body will push it out. And so that's how our bodies are so beautiful, and it forms this hard capsule around the implant because it's trying to push the implant out. So you don't necessarily get sick because of, there's a rupture or leakage or anything. It's just the implant itself. That's what I believe. And so that doctor said, I'm going to go in there and take everything out, absolutely everything. And I felt comfortable in him doing that. And so I decided to, and I know that was an intuitive decision that I made for myself. Like I said, they looked amazing the night before. They didn't look lopsided, or there was no leakage or anything like that. And I just made such a great decision to do that.
Yeah, and I'm looking to see if I have that one because I know I have the one before.
I think it's the one with the flowers is the one.
Yes, that's the one I'm looking for. I have so many, believe me, so many pictures in here that I go through a lot. But I might just upload what I've got from my yeah, my texting that you sent, because I think you sent most of them by text, so I have to upload them.
I did.
Yeah,
Um,
so I'll work on that. So we'll get you pictures a little bit later, everyone, and please share this because there's a lot of women out there that um, don't know that they could have problems, and for you to have these issues, these symptoms, right as COVID was hitting, that just is strange. So, when did you get the implants to begin with? When did that happen?
Implants, I got them in May of 2012. So I had them for approximately 8 to 9 years.
Oh wow!
I had no issues up until 2020 is when I figured that. And I think it just takes time, you know. I heard once one of the podcasts that I saw, it said I know one of the interviewers had mentioned that, so it's not like if you're going to get sick, it's when you're going to get sick, basically, you know. And so I mean, that just makes so much sense to me. That, I mean, obviously we weren't born this way. We weren't, you know, supposed to have anything, you know, in our bodies or anything, any kind of enhancements or anything like that. I mean, obviously it looks beautiful and you do feel more confident, and I get all that. Maybe I was insecure at the time of myself and I made that choice. You know, I was married at the time, and you know, it was just a decision that not even my partner wanted me to do, but it was just something that I wanted to do for myself. And so looking back, I know that was probably because of insecurity and maybe I just wanted to feel prettier. But I don't know, I guess my message here part of it would be is to also, like, for women to know that, like, we're already enough. You know what I mean? We're already enough. We don't need any of that. And if we have partners or, you know, spouses or people that encourage us to get the implants or to not encourage us to not take them out, well, then you get rid of the partner. You get rid of the person. We don't need those enhancements. We are already beautiful enough. And beauty doesn't even come from just the appearance. Like there we are. Are we good?
Yeah, we're good.
Okay.
I want to put you on this side anyway. Sorry, because it seems like that side gets more attention. So that's it. Sorry. So did I click out, or did you click out, or do we both click out?
No, I don't know. It just kind of
all right.
You went blank.
Sorry about that, but yeah, I'm working on pulling up your pictures, so that might have.
Oh, maybe that's why.
Yeah.
So basically, well, like I said, you know, appearance isn't just everything. You know, beauty comes from, you know, self-love and, you know, how we treat others and, you know, just all that great stuff. Like, we don't need any kind of enhancements. It's just, you know, how we treat, like I said, how we treat others and what we do and our lifestyles, all that stuff. It's beauty, like, everywhere. It doesn't necessarily have to be our appearance. You know, it's our character, personality, all that great stuff. Forgiveness and, you know, jealousy, envy, all those things that sometimes that we may have, and which are all normal because we're human. But at the same time, there comes to a point where you have to learn compassion, empathy, all that great stuff. And I think that's where the beauty comes in, is just who you are, your personality. And, you know, because obviously as we age, you know, that's all going to go away, you know. So, yeah.
Right. And I can understand that it all goes away, but you are, I mean, everybody can see how lovely she is. She is such a beautiful soul. And for her to have to discover that she was worthy, because it's not just in the mirror you have to look at. You have to look internally. And internally you're a beautiful soul. You really are. And I'm glad you found yourself. I'm glad you found who you truly were and loved yourself, because what you say, it makes it so simple. It sounds so simple, but we know how difficult it is to get through
Oh,
that.
definitely. I don't know what it is, if it's, past trauma or just, um, our ancestors or all that, stuff that we're programmed with, all those things that sometimes we just feel like we're not enough. And I definitely know that now that I have learned, it sounds selfish to some people that you love yourself, but that is so important, because how could you love others if you don't have that kindness for yourself? And so with that being said, uh, I've changed it quite a bit, and even my relationships, I've lost friendships, or, even my marriage or whatever it is, just because it's, we're at a higher frequency when we just have this compassion and love for everyone, for animals, for plants, for pets, for just this. I don't know. I guess you grow so much sometimes that you really, and it's okay to like move on from people and situations and friendships, because you always need to gravitate towards like the people who are going to see your light, and that you can see their light and be around people like. So I guess what's really important for me is as women is sometimes we have to learn to say no a lot. You know what I mean? A lot more than we have in our past. I was born in a religious environment as I grew up, and I learned a lot of compassion, empathy, and morals, values, all that great stuff. But it wasn't until I went through this journey of healing is when I really transformed and found a greater relationship with our Creator. I just felt just divinely guided, and everything that I'm doing now every day, I follow on my intuition, and I'm just taking it baby steps. We have great conversations, Julie, how that all plays out, and how intuitive that we have become. And I think that a lot more people are getting there too.
I'm still working. But, well, I've got the pictures, but I downloaded them and it didn't come up. Now, this might trigger some people, but everything is natural and covered, and we're all good. So here we go. This is before. If it hopefully it's coming out. It's processing. So we'll see that in a second. And again, please share this. You ready? Now, again, it's caution on this. Do not have kids watching at this moment. I'm just saying. There's nothing bad about it, but like she said, there's nothing wrong with them. Everything was fine, but
the night before.
But she had the symptoms, and she gave me a picture of her back, I guess, of the rash, but I couldn't see any rash.
Yeah, I couldn't see it either, but I remember that was a photo that I took. I ended up, I didn't know what was going on, so I ended up getting my family out of the house. I thought maybe we have mold, but no one else was sick, so maybe we have mold, or maybe something's going on in the house. And so I ended up renting a hotel for a week, and I just still had the symptoms. And so obviously we were able to come back home because it was just me, it was no one else. And I did take a photo of like my back. I had itchy and rashes and all this stuff going on. It was just, I had no idea what to do at the time.
Yeah, and I can understand that. That's got to be tough. That would be very tough to have to deal with all of that. And you're thinking of your children first, always. Oh, it's not me. It can't be me.
Yes, I know. I can't leave them. I have too many kids, and they're such beautiful souls. Like I can't leave them. You know.
Right, right.
Yeah. So that's why, I mean, I decided to do, to go ahead and remove them. They looked great and all, but it just wasn't worth it to me. I just wanted to live, and they did give me options. When I had the explant, they wanted to change them out for new ones. And I mean, that would have defeated the entire purpose of everything.
Wow.
Yeah. And they even, I remember even, and I'm not here to like judge or blame or do any of that, because there's going to be a lot of people that still want to get the implants, and that's totally up to them. But I just want people to know that, again, I'm not trying to spread fear or blame or any of it. I just want women to encourage women to like really do your research. You know what I mean? Is it really going to be worth it?
Yeah.
Women have developed mold in certain areas, the pockets that form in there, and they have odor, and there's just too much. And um, I don't know. I'm really so happy to share this message. I just think it's so important for us to know, and that we can also heal ourselves through plant medicine. So I don't know. One important thing that I wanted to mention as well is that after I got the explants out, I continued. I mean, 24 hours after I had them removed. Um, so the photo of the hat, that's 2 weeks after, but 24 hours after I got the explant, or the implants removed, like all my inflammation went away. Like the whites and the brightness of my eyes, the whites, that all cleared up. I had rashes on my face, that all cleared up. And so I just knew that that's what it was. And I didn't heal right away after 24 hours. I mean, it took me a few years to actually get better. And everything that I did naturally from home. I worked on my lymphatic system, jumped on a trampoline every day, walked every day, and just took a lot of herbs and plant medicine, and a lot of prayer, especially prayer. Yeah. Oh, so this photo here, yeah, that was the photo right the day after my explant.
Yeah.
You have to be carrying around these little bags that like fill up with fluid and blood, and it was just disgusting. But it was so tough. Yeah.
But for you to say your inflammation went down right away. So,
Yes, for sure.
and I can see in your face, it seems to have, I mean, you look tired,
Mm-hmm.
obviously, but you look good.
I don't know. It was just 24 hours after I just already started to feel great. So that's when I knew, I'm like, this was the right decision.
Yeah. And I think, where did I see that one? I thought I had another one too that definitely want to show. Let's see. In your recovering, I'm going to do that one next. Sorry, guys. Don't mean to put my head down, but yeah. Somebody had said something about me putting my head down the other day, but I was actually looking up, which is strange. But so, okay, so we've got that coming up, and let me close this. So, got one of you recovering with one of your sons, and I think that is a cute one too. And
Me every day with headaches, and even after, like I said, it took me a few years to actually get better. So.
yeah. All right. Okay, I just sent it out. Now I gotta download it. Good. Okay. So you said it took you years, or was it?
It took me a few years, and I could say now that I'm feeling so much better than I have in years. Within this last, I'm saying 6 to 8 months. Just my health and the way I feel. I just feel great, and I feel a lot younger than I did in my 20s. Honestly, I think it's just because I consider myself to be an intuitive eater as well, and everything that I do is following how I feel. Like I don't go by what people think. Oh, you should have 3 meals a day, or you should be doing this, or you should be doing that. No, there's no. You should be doing anything. It's how you feel and what you. We have to learn to listen to ourselves. And I figured my ancestors. They were natives from the desert. They thrived on whole foods and plant medicine and meat. So that's another issue. Another issue, but another topic is I had been a vegetarian for 7 years prior to my explant. And I'm not here to say any diet is right. I think we're all different, and we all require different type of food. And so after my explant, in order for me to rebuild and gain more weight and just feel great, I decided to incorporate beef and bison is the two meats that I do eat, with plenty of vegetables and fruit. But that helped me rebuild my tissues and just to get strong again. And till this day, I still I eat beef and bison. Those are the two, and some fish, cod. But I figured, like I said, my ancestors, they thrived off all that medicine, desert-inspired food, and they were meat eaters. And so I feel that that's the nutrition that I need for myself.
Okay. But you said beef?
Beef.
Was that beef and bison? Oh,
yeah.
Okay.
I try to get really good quality, and I don't eat it daily, but I do incorporate it into my diet.
Chicken is really not that good for people.
Yes, I've recently heard that, so I don't eat chicken. I don't eat turkey. I may have for Thanksgiving just because, if I'm with family, I'll have a little, but like everything in moderation, like I always say, everything in moderation, including moderation. So
Yes, you do.
I always say that to everywhere because it's so true. And that's with everything, that's with everything in life, everything in moderation. So sometimes, it's okay to splurge a little bit, but as long as we're just learn to listen to our bodies and don't, push ourselves or take other people's advice, we just need to follow our own, we're being guided. We just have to learn to listen.
Yeah. And yeah, I rarely eat chicken, rarely. And especially when you go and get the rotisserie chicken. Have you read what's in that?
I have not.
Okay, you don't. If you don't need it, don't worry about it. You don't need to worry about it.
Mm.
But yeah, that was not good. Okay, so I'm gonna pull this up real quick, and this is her recovery. Isn't that cute? Adorable. That must have been a headache. It's like got an ice pack.
Migraine for sure. My kids are amazing. They would just come by and cheer me up and make me laugh, and we'd watch funny videos. I just feel that laughter and all that great stuff. That's medicine, They would come in and dance for me and do these silly things, and yeah, they're amazing. They're amazing. He had his headache too, is what he said. So.
Oh, and I love that. That's a neck pillow. That is. Well, he could have been having empathy pains for you because that does happen.
Yeah, that's so true.
He has your energy, so.
Mm-hmm. One thing I'd like to mention, Julie, that I did not, just by seeing my son Eli there, is it wasn't until later that I figured that it was because of the breast implants. I truly believe it was because of that. But about a year after he was born, I went to do a diaper change, and he had, by his groin area, he had two large balls, like they were toxic, something toxic that was plugging the lymph nodes there. I took him to the emergency room, and they couldn't say much, about it, and they didn't know what it was. I was so afraid. So first thing I did was I put, gave him little castor oil packs. I put castor oil on there, and I didn't mix it with anything because he was, but I know castor oil is pretty safe. So I put castor oil packs on him, and they went away. And then I changed his diet as well. I was incorporating better foods, and he would eat all kinds of vegetables and fruit, and that's just, he went through that as well. We would walk a lot, and like I said, laughter, sunshine. I still, till this day, I think I mentioned before, I make my kids go outside every day to get some sunshine. And I ended up taking him to his primary care physician, and the bumps were no longer there, so nothing was done about that. But I am pretty sure that that had something to do because I breastfed him with the implants. I had
That's what I was going to ask.
Yes. And I breastfed him with the implants, and I just felt so bad. I've been very guilty for a long time, but I didn't know any better, and I'm not going to feel that way anymore because I didn't know. And so that's therefore my message. Yeah, I just want women to hear, me, someone. I mean, I'm not the only person and woman out there that this has happened to, and there's several podcasts and interviews with women, but this is just my journey, and this is my story of what happened to me and how I was able to incorporate a lot of herbal medicine to get myself back to health.
Yes. And your son, you got him back to health.
Yes.
Just with castor oil and changing his diet.
Mhm.
And so getting rid of the toxins and not allowing more toxins in. That is the key.
Yes.
Because you could have gone back to a diet and I'm just saying maybe not have cleansed your vegetables enough, and then the toxins are back in.
Yeah, for sure.
So
it was a lot of work, but I was able to get him back to health, and he's never had any issues since. But that was pretty scary.
yeah.
And I'm pretty sure it had to do with the breast implants because, even like I said, I worked a lot on my lymphatic system. I still till this day still do everything that I did while I was healing. So, I mean, a lot of my friends know and my family members know I take at least 2 hot baths a week. I love it. That's just, I take hot baths, and I sometimes put in Himalayan pink salt, pea flowers to soften my skin, or I put in baking soda as well, where I'm able to put inside the bathtub, and it's a good source, not just Arm & Hammer, but I do get it from a different source, nice clean baking soda. I love it. I use it for everything. And that's, just with everything, even under your armpits, instead of deodorant or, a foot scrub, you could use baking soda. I mean, there's so many things that we can do from home that are just amazing, and that we don't have to spend too much money, out there trying to get better. I mean, I just still incorporate all that. I still jump on a trampoline. I still walk daily. I'm a prayer warrior, and I help my community. And I didn't do that before. I'm so grateful to have met so many people like yourself, and that we're, forming these groups, as a collective, trying to help people in so many ways, through grief, nursing facilities, community gardens. I just got invited to be a part of, it's called Desert Abundance. It's a 5-acre food forest that we're going to be building over at Boyce Thompson, and that we're going to get that food and share it with the community. And I'm loving it all. It's just so healing to live this way and to be part of groups and people. And I mean, sometimes I run out of time, but I don't know. I just love being all over the place.
So, Boyce Thompson, for those who don't know, is outside the Phoenix area. It's in a different county than Maricopa, and it's near Superior, but it's very close. There's 3 towns: Superior, Miami, and Globe, and they were mining towns. Well, the mining is basically kind of dried up. I mean, they're still doing some. Yes, they're still doing some out there, but it's not quite a food desert out there, but they definitely need more encouragement to do their own. It's a very dry part of the desert. It does get a lot of rain out there, though.
More rain than Mesa. Yeah.
Yes.
And they're trying to get, that's what they're working on, is they want to get water out there. And once there's water there in the 5 acres of the food forest, I was asked to bring in some moringa trees, perhaps. Like, we can get in the moringas there. As long
Yes.
as, and we all know that that's medicine in itself. I mean, it's a multivitamin and has several minerals, and there's so many things that you can do with moringa. It's my bestseller. I love it. I just, I'm really passionate about it. It's helped me. And I remember just throughout my whole healing process, I would just get mason jars, moringa, leaves, and just sip that daily, or, I do have a list. I'm not sure if we can post it somewhere. If you want, I can go through. It's just a simple list, and it's just like one herb per what I used. I made a little diary of some of the stuff. So I don't know if you want me to mention like the list of.
You can mention the list, and you can send me a copy of the list on my email.
Okay.
So that I can post it.
You don't have to download it. Okay. So some of the these are some of the herbs, and it's just in simple form. It's nothing, no combinations, any of that. But this is what I intuitively knew what to take. And I'm so grateful that I had that herbalism certification, because I was able to, when I was lying in bed and no one was home, I grabbed, an essential oil and mixed it with a little water and all, or made me a tea. But this is kind of what I did. What I used. And this would be moringa leaf for vitamins and minerals, ginger root for nausea, overall wellness, and to warm my body because I got cold often. Turmeric for inflammation, nettle leaf for iron, hibiscus for high blood pressure if I felt that I had high blood pressure, cayenne pepper for circulation. I would make small little pillows of lavender flowers in it, and I would put it on my chest to sleep at night, just because, just to calm me down. And if I was nervous, for relaxation purposes. Mullein for respiratory. Peppermint leaf for upset stomach. I also use a lot of peppermint essential oil for all my kids do for headaches, just dab a little bit of peppermint oil. And for upset stomach, like I said, lemon balm for anxiety. I use tea tree oil, and I would mix it with jojoba oil or castor oil, and it's for itchiness. Any kind of itch that I had, I would use tea tree. Soursop leaves for overall wellness at times. I love soursop leaves. Chamomile and linden flowers, and valerian root for insomnia. So now I'm making them in capsule forms as well. Someone requested that, so I'm doing for like a sleep aid. I would use mesquite flower for protein.
Yes.
Prickly pear cactus for fiber and antioxidants. Yucca root for joint pain and muscle pain. Senna leaf for constipation. And cannabis for nausea, balance, and to lift my mood. So those are some of the herbs that I used, and I still use till this day, and just to help me get through whatever it is.
I was going to say they're all legal here in Arizona, so if they're not where you live, that's, you might have to find a substitute for them. They are good.
All in moderation.
All in moderation, yes. Yes. And like you said, moderate your moderation as well, because you can have it for so long. And a lot of people say do it for 28 days straight so that it does what it needs to do. And that's great. But get yourself off of it for a little bit before you go back on it.
Definitely. Just like shampooing your hair. You could use a certain shampoo and it doesn't do well until you switch brands, and that's with everything. But any of these herbs, I'm saying, like, you can't just take one of these herbs and think it's going to heal you if you do it in large amounts, or if you do it daily. The body needs to rest as well. Sometimes I don't do any of it. Sometimes I'll just have lemon water or, little apple cider vinegar in my water. And, just like I said, it's all my intuition. I just love how it's just been so strong lately. And I really love it because I'm able to move easier, And I'm going to have a birthday this week. And so I'm so proud of my age, I just feel like I don't think I would have been able to even do an interview or have known all this, in my earlier years. It wasn't through it was because of those experiences with my father and the nursing homes and learning herbalism and getting sick and all those things finally led me to somewhere where I feel like my mission is to share that and to help others. At least I have not just books that I read or schools that I attended or any of that. It's the experience, and that's what I feel is I come in strong there is through the experience of what I went through.
Because if you had followed doctors' directions, you probably wouldn't be with us today. I'm going to put it that way. But you took it upon yourself to heal thyself. And I don't remember where it's from. I'm sure that anybody listening will be able to tell us, but and I think it's from the Bible, but physician, heal thyself. I use that all the time. I'm a physician. I might be a metaphysician, but I'm a physician. So I need to help heal myself. No, I am not medically certified. I am just my own physician.
Yes.
So
for sure. And there's we don't know it all. We're still learning. I'm still learning. I don't know everything. I don't know a particular route from, a different country, and I'm still learning, how to incorporate that in my life. And maybe I'm not supposed to because I don't live there. So with the medicine that we do have here in our desert, and I mean, that's at least for me for now. I think that just all works, and therefore that's why I formed Chasing Hawks Botanicals. I'm a single mother now, and I have this small business that I'm trying to grow, and I would love for you guys to visit my website. It's called chasinghawksbotanicals.com. And you guys could always send me a message, and my email's listed on there if you have any questions or any concerns. I mean, I'm not a doctor or anything, and I'm always going to have you do your own research, but I could at least direct you to brands that I used for certain items or particular herbs, or I can, if I don't have the particular herb that you may be looking for, I could always get my hands on it. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm here for that.
And again, she's very well versed in the Sonoran Desert and desert plants and all. Doesn't mean she doesn't understand other plants, but we're all our own physicians, yes. But like Victor's in Sweden, it doesn't mean that what she suggests for you won't work. It's just that you know what's around you, and he's well versed in what is in his area, so he knows what would work for him. And we are all our own physician. You can make your kitchen into your pharmacy as well, and that's what she's done. Rose has made that into it, and I am working on making a QR code for you real quick. I'm always doing something.
Always.
And somebody was saying that you're doing two things at once. Well, if you just sit here, do nothing, nothing gets done, right?
Exactly. Are you a Gemini, Julia? I've never asked you.
I have no Gemini in me at all.
You don't?
Wow. Yeah. But I'm very grounded. I have 4 Virgo placements. Okay. So, and then 2 Taurus. Little earthy.
Yeah, for sure.
Even though I am a Leo Sun and Mercury. So let's see. And I'm going to put Rose Perez on here so you see that. And so you've given us the list of what helped you. Is there any herb that stands out for you? I mean, even, any herbs that stand out for you as far as what your favorite is?
I don't have a favorite. Well, I was asked a question the other day, is if I were to be on a stranded island, which herbs would I take with me if I only had a choice of a couple? And I would definitely take moringa, and I would take ginger root and turmeric. I think those three, but there's so many others that I just love to, and I know that they're so, lemon balm for anxiety and just to calm me, or skull cap, but I would say those three are the ginger. I do really well for overall wellness. I get cold quite a bit. I always wear a long robe, even in the summertime. I just love that comfort, and that maybe because I'm a June baby as well. I don't know. And the heat, just, but I do take ginger root almost every day sometimes. And I just love it. I mean, but like I said, there's so many other herbs, and moringa. I love moringa.
Yeah. Now, you do mention ginger, and I love ginger. I love to use it a lot. However, I read recently that it can increase your blood pressure. So, what would you take to lower your blood pressure? You had mentioned one thing, but
Hibiscus.
okay.
And I have firsthand experience with that. I have at least 3 different people that I bought the blood pressure monitor, and they would take at least 2 to 3 cups of hibiscus. I don't recommend to sweeten it. I don't need it, but if they need to sweeten it, they can use honey or whatever it is. But just a small, at least a 4 to 8 ounce cup of hibiscus definitely lowers your blood sugar. And you could test it out for yourself, to see if it works. But yeah, hibiscus for sure.
And there's one of my favorite that um, smoothie connection does incorporate in many of their smoothies, and that's cinnamon.
Yes.
Cinnamon lowers blood pressure as well.
Yeah.
In moderation, yes, but I could go cinnamon every day. I love it. I mean, it's just so much fun. But yeah, I don't do it every single day.
Yeah.
Um, but this is her QR code, so please take a picture of the QR code. And let's see what it. Sandra's saying. Let's see. It's a process of elimination, finding what works and what doesn't. Yes. And one thing is when you're talking to somebody who's been through things, I mean, you might not have had an implant, but you might have toxicity in your body that you're getting rash and all these unexplained things going on. So it might be something else.
For sure. That's that's the name of the title of, the interview today. It's returning to the roots.
Yeah.
So go back to, you have to do an assessment of what's going on with me, because sometimes, as we know, it's not just physical, it's mental. It's our relationships, toxic relationships that can be making us ill. I've been through all that, hair loss, stress, just to see what is in my environment, what is going on in my home. Is my home, does it need to be, do I need to clean my house a little more, organize a little better? Like I said, get rid of relationships and all that good stuff. I mean, it's something that just we all have to do, and just like I said, do an assessment of what's going on. Go back to the roots. What's happening here with us? And sometimes we could even have like relatives and all that are going through stuff, and so we go through grief ourselves, and we just don't, especially a lot of us that are more aware, that you and I both feel a lot of energy, around us. So I didn't know this until recently, that's probably one of the reasons why, after being social for some time, I definitely have to, stay at home for a while and just, recharge. And so that's what I do. And I do that often. So those are just, I'll stay home and do nothing and not answer my phone sometimes. I mean, obviously if it's really important, but I don't watch like TV or any of that. I'll read, or I'll go outside and walk and sit in the sun and do all those great things. So yeah, it's just to try to find balance, whatever makes you happy,
Okay. And you touched base just recently on one thing that a lot of us are going through, not just men, but women as well, especially women that are aging. And that was hair loss. So, what did you do to get your beautiful locks back?
I would say it would just be nutrition and massage. I did a lot of massage. I still do a lot of hair massage, on myself. I'll go in and just at night before I go to bed, I'll put in a little bit of oil. You could use any kind of oil. Like there's different types of hair oil, and I would just massage those areas. And also just like having the vision of it, like just I think I'm cutting out. Am I cutting out?
No, you're fine. You're fine.
Oh,
Well,
okay.
you just did right after you said that.
So yeah, and then like I said, just just visual of like what is going on here. Like let me put that out there, and I can see my hair growing back. I could see how I want it's supposed to be.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? And eventually you end up manifesting those things. I really am
Yes.
a believer in all of it, and just seeing ahead and having a positive mindset that it is going to grow, or it is. There's a lot of people that give up right away. They try different remedies and they're like, oh, I tried it for a week and it does not work. You know what I mean? And it's like, no, you have to try it. You have to be consistent. Going to the doctor and getting a prescription might help you right away, but at the same time, let's say, for example, my daughter, she wasn't feeling well, so she went in for antibiotics, and I don't like to. You have to use them when it's necessary, but sometimes, a little bit of oregano tea or oregano essential oil. I mean, that's like a natural antibiotic, and that's what I've been using every time I get ill or anything. And I've never had to get an antibiotic, because antibiotic is good for you to kill some of the infection, but it also kills a lot of your good bacteria. So what do you have to do? You have to take in a bunch of probiotics and to try to get your gut health back. And why do all that when you can do it in a simple form, and try that first. Always try the natural way first. If you can't fix it, then you go. And I know doctors aren't going to like me saying that, but that's just what it is.
And I do want to make mention that doctors are practicing. They're not masters of their chosen profession. They are practicing. So they are learning each and every day. We go to Tuesday night psychic squad. So we are practicing. You go out and your intuition is strong. You're practicing every day. And being open and honest is practicing every day. So hopefully you understand that and you can be a part of it. It is very important that you do go within, like Rose did. She checked in with herself internally. What does she need? And she did trial by error, but it worked for her. She found what works for her. And everyone can do that. You just need to take the time. But you're right. Going to a doctor, paying the money for that, getting prescription, paying the money for that, and then going home and popping the pill. Oh, that's simple. No, that's just what we've been taught is the right way to do things.
Exactly.
So find what's right for you.
Might be take a little bit slower healing, but you're going to heal naturally, and it's going to be in the long run, be so much better than taking any kind of prescription.
Yeah. Yeah. And try something. I mean, even if there's no real bad symptoms, but you've heard that this thing helps. Whatever is aching you, like dry skin. We'll just put it that way because I have to deal with that. Is trying something different. I'm trying black seed oil and seeing how that goes. I'm going to try that for 28 days and see if anything changes. It's been about a week. And between that and this, my skin is getting a little softer, not quite as dry. So whatever it is, it's working.
Yeah, for sure. Like you said, it's trial by error. Like the other day I was making a creosote salve for a friend of mine, and I have creosote bushes here. I mean, I've always used really good quality products. I mixed it with, I usually just do like an organic beeswax, jojoba oil, the creosote, which works fine. So I figured this time I was going to add a little castor oil for deep penetration so it can actually get in there. And I thought it was doing a great thing. It probably would have worked if I would have just used it in a small area. But it just felt so good. And I put that on my hands, on my arms, on my legs. And I was just like, oh, this just feels so great. Well, I had forgotten I put it on, and I ended up going out to the garden, and I got us some sunshine. And by the next day, I mean, this was just 2 weeks ago, I was itching everywhere. And,
Oh,
yeah, and then I did a little more research on it, and I was like, okay, creosote, you should not be, like, once you use any kind of creosote salve, you should not get too much sun. So I figured it's better to use it at night. Make sure you don't have all those oils on your body when you go out to the sun. And so, like I said, I'm still learning myself. I don't know everything, but now I know it works. I'm not going to add the castor oil next time, and I'm just going to make my salve, and it's going to be a lot safer. So, yeah.
and you're practicing.
Yeah, of course. Mm-hmm.
You might be a master gardener, but you're practicing the herbs and everything else.
Yeah.
And how to heal others and yourself and others, I should say, because you've got to put yourself first. Please choose yourself first.
Yes. Okay.
And don't do any experiments on animals until you know everything's right.
Right. Yeah, most of my products that I do, I take a lot of pride in what I do and the products that I use, because I want people, when they're using them, I want them to connect with the land. I want them to know that, like, my intention for it is made with love, and it's really made, like I said, with good qualities. I just want people to have that, and just to know that we can get our hands on simple things, good stuff. I mean, the more money that you spend on, like, healing yourself naturally from home, you're going to spend less at the medical doctors, health insurance, all that. I mean, I think that is important for some people. I myself don't have health insurance. I haven't had it in over 25 years. And I mean, if I needed to get it, I'd have to do that if that's what I need. But for now, I just know that I feel pretty confident in what I'm doing. And I have so many friends, people that are even more knowledgeable than I am, that I can go to if I have questions.
And it's not just book smart people, it's the experiences. And that's what Rose is teaching us here today. It's her experiences that got her to where she is today, and help her know what's going to work for herself, her family, and anyone else who comes to her. Again, you've got to try it yourself to see if it works for you.
Mm-hmm.
But it worked for her. So if she can do it, we can at least try it and see if it works for us as well.
Yeah, because we're all different. Just like I said with diet, just the same with herbs. There's people that are going to have a combination of herbs or a tea blend that they're just not going to like, and it just doesn't do well for them. And there's others that are going to love it. So you just have to figure it out, and what works for you and what doesn't. There's no, this is right and this is wrong, or you're not supposed to do this, or it's none of that. It's just yeah, moringa could be like not good for someone. I understand that. I can't sit there and say, oh, moringa's gonna be a cure-all. It's gonna do this and not. No, but there's a lot of research that's been done, and it is helpful. Try it out. If you feel comfortable, go to your family care physician and make sure that it's a supplement that you can add to your diet. Make sure it's not going to have any interactions with any prescriptions, medication, or anything that you're taking. So,
yeah. And yeah, I was going to say, I've tried moringa and it's fine. Some people don't like the taste of it. To me, it's just grassy. I mean, it's green. It just tastes
similar to wheatgrass.
Yeah. So please try things out. Again, I'm going to put up her QR code. If you guys have any questions, please send them. I know we're a little bit beyond the question starting time. And we'll take a 1 minute break real quick so that we can.
Good, my battery's about to die here. And let me plug into my laptop.
Okay. Okay. Let's go. Yeah, I'll get the break in here. in just a second. Here we go. Ceasing. Okay. I hear the music has stopped. I'm coming. All right. Welcome back.
Perfect. My laptop had like 1%.
Thanks. So hopefully everybody's taking pictures of this, and because this is her website. Indeed, do you know anything about dragon blood?
I've heard of it, but I'm not too familiar with it.
Okay.
No.
Because Victor uses it. But remember, Victor, moderation is the key. Because you don't want to overdo it, especially if it helps you. When you desperately need it, you don't want that to change. Okay. So I hope I didn't interrupt your question about dragon's blood, Victor. I don't see that you put one. It doesn't look like anyone's put any questions in yet. And let's see.
Curious that blood, it says helps under my autism burnout.
Yes.
Okay.
Past 5 days to less than 1 a month. Okay, good. Oh, good. I'm glad you're taking notes. Sandra, that helps. And Davey, did you have a question? And not just on health. You can ask a question. Davey comes in a couple times a week to see us. I don't know if you've seen him on, but he's been on. He said he was from Boston, so that's cool. Yeah. All right. Davey, let's see. And Victor, Sandra, if you had any questions, all good, Jimmy. I understand. Yeah. Well, I know you always ask about dragon's blood, so I thought I'd beat you to the punch and just ask. Because we don't do a lot of, there's not a whole lot of dragon's blood out here. We do see it in wrapped with sage, but not that often.
Yeah. But no, definitely. I love that. And like I said, we could all learn from each other. That's something I'm not too familiar with, but I could do some research and be able to answer more questions,
Yeah.
Learning experience for all of us.
Yeah. Well, it's nice to know the different herbs people use to see if they might have benefits for you or for your products too. Who's going to grab some more products? Why don't you go ahead and you gave us a list of the herbs. Was there anything else that you did? What was the rest that you got? You talked about loving yourself, and I have to put this up because this is what Bonnie made for Victor a while ago, a couple years ago. So this is what Victor says all the time: "Love your dame self." He says it, but just like everybody else, you got to practice it too. So
I like
you see that.
That's cute. Yeah, that's the beginning of it all, just learning to love yourself and listen to yourself, not have guilt for past decisions, choices, any of it.
Trying to find more stuff. Okay. Well, I'll come back. Looking more of your stuff. Your lip products are very good too. I like those. They don't leave the same, I won't say aftertaste per se, but they won't leave the same film as some of the other things, other lip products, even the beeswax. I don't know if you're familiar with Burt's Bees.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I am familiar with it. Kind of like to just play in my kitchen and just make stuff that I love that works for my for me or my family. I have my kids, my daughters try it out, family, and once I get good reviews, then I'll make a bigger quantity and just there we go. But I always make sure to test everything out first on myself, and I always love to give out samples and a lot of free products. I always do. I wish I didn't have to charge for any of it. You know what I mean? Just I love to give and share. I honestly love that. But yeah, I really put a lot of love and my intention is that I don't know. I just take a lot of pride. I want people to taste good quality stuff, knowing that it's part of the desert. It's part of our land. It's part of these beautiful bushes that we have no idea sometimes with the bushes, but it's just amazing.
Yeah.
And there's an abundance of it everywhere, all around us. We have medicine underneath our feet.
Yes. And there's so much more that you can learn. I'm just reading some of these. Ordering online, can't get in nature in Sweden, but getting in mostly from China. Yeah. I'm sure there's other places in Europe and all that you can find smaller family owned products that you can get. Timu might be cheap, but it's cheap. It's plastic. I don't know if you've bought anything. I've gotten a few things thinking, oh, I can put my cell phone in this and close it up, and it'll be great to take to the river because we have a salt river here. It's beautiful, guys. But so my phone wouldn't get wet. However, opening the packaging is so toxic. It just stinks. So much chemicals. So be careful what you're buying and where you're buying it from. I prefer local stuff.
Yes, for sure. I mean, it's a lot cheaper sometimes, but it's just not worth it. Especially herbs or anything, for that matter, any kind of medicine or anything that you're putting inside your body, lotions, we could make a beautiful lotion from your kitchen. You know what I mean? There's so many things that we can do that we don't need all that expensive products or for our face, like serums and all that stuff. I make a lot of, I think I mentioned last time, I play a lot with roses. I love playing with roses. It's such a beautiful, it's for beauty, like I just love the way it smells and it makes me feel great. And just knowing that I made it, and it just works for me. And so I do have a couple of friends who mentioned that have been using it, and they're like, I feel like I've gotten rid of, whatever bumps that I had or any kind of I feel. And when I hear that, I'm just so grateful. I'm just so grateful that it's helping other people as well, that it's not just me, that it really could be beneficial for other people. So that's why I like to share. For sure.
Yeah. And welcome in KK. KK is from Oregon. She has 5 horses, and they're very intuitive.
Ooh.
So
The year of the fire horse, Julie.
yes, it is. And I even have something for that. Let's see if I can pull that up real quick. Yep.
Ooh.
So that's my year of the fire horse.
I love it.
It's always fun to do that. Oh, okay. We'll get on that. So, KK, if you have any questions regarding your health, what to take, and I'm not talking medicine, I'm talking herb stuff. So, and I know you've been in when I had Rose on before. So, if you have any questions, please let us know. Okay.
Jill,
Oh, go ahead.
no, one thing I wanted to mention as well before I forget is, you know, this interview or, future interviews about breast implant illness, it's not just for women, it's for men too, for spouses, partners, just people that know that, all the list of symptoms that I gave you, I mean, that was a lot, and so I just would love men to also know how to care for their loved ones and know that, maybe they're just not being quiet and, they're not mad, they're just going through such a hard time. And so I want people to learn to have compassion for each other, because sometimes we can get the wrong idea about other people and not knowing exactly what's going on inside of them. Or maybe they have some kind of symptom that they don't want to share with anyone. And so I just feel it's super important for men as well to understand that us women, it's not just for pleasure, the having beautiful breasts and all, but it comes with all of the rest too. And if it doesn't work for them, you need to be there, be present, helpful. All those things are very important as well.
And I like this question. Hold on a minute. Let me get rid of this other thing. Here we go.
Are there any herbs that restore enamel for your teeth? I could be honest and I could tell you that I don't know. I don't know if there. I'm sure there is, but I do know that our teeth are, having like enough calcium in our bodies and, good gum health, mouth health, all that, if, your diet, your lifestyle, obviously smoking and all that stuff comes into effect. And there's stuff that definitely that we can do, even mouth rinses with tea tree oil and castor oil, peppermint oil. All those are really good for gum health. One of my favorites is clove oil.
Okay.
Yeah, and I will sometimes get just a whole clove and I'll put it on the side of my mouth. And I learned that from my parents back when I was young. Their breath always smelled the same, and I always wondered what it was. And we'd go off to church, and they'd put a little clove in their mouth, and it's just really good for gum health. And I have clove essential oil as well. So when my kids have, let's say, a toothache or gum inflammation or anything going on, I'll have them do rinses with clove oil, essential oil, and dilute it with a little bit of water. So yeah, I would say clove, peppermint. I'm sure there's other remedies, but that's what I use.
And one of the other things I don't know, because you use frankincense in here, frankincense resin can be chewed. Make sure it's coming from a reliable source, but frankincense resin can be chewed and is supposed to help your mouth health, your dental health. So check that out. I haven't tried it yet. I have some resin, so I will try it. But yeah, that's one of the things that they mention, and you use it in your products. So frankincense is a good thing. It's also good to burn to get out the really deep toxic energy in a home. And you can do that before you do the sage. The sage will take the lighter stuff out, but frankincense takes deep, dark stuff out.
I do have frankincense tears, and I burn that too. I actually burned a little this morning. I'll do it especially because of the interview, or just, if there's any negative energy in the house, or maybe an argument or whatever it is, I'll burn something. Copal, sage, and I have sage with roses now that I burn. Have you used it yet? No.
No, but that's one of the things I went to grab. I can see it right now. All of a sudden, I remember where it was. And what was the thing I was going to, you said copal?
Mm-hmm.
What exactly is copal?
That's just another form of, I don't know exactly, it's just another resin. So copal is, let me grab this little bag. Um, it comes in these big type of rocks here where you're able to break it off and burn it. You could totally put it in a little burner here and wrap something around it so you don't burn your hands. But it's just another, I know that they use it over in South America quite a bit. But it's just another form. I mean, my kids sometimes don't like certain smells, so I'll have to like change it up. When they're not here, I'll use the frankincense because they don't like it. I do. There's a lot of stuff that we can do, like I said, just to clear the energy and I mean, a lot of times people think it, I mean, it could even be a placebo effect as well, and that'll work, you know, too. Just, you know, knowing that you're burning something with the intention behind it. The intention behind everything is what's important. Well, I thought I found it, but I didn't. Okay. No worries.
It doesn't want to be shown right now, obviously.
Okay.
If you have any of your products near you,
I do. Let's see.
and like I said, she has many products. The white copal is the purest variety known for its light, citrusy, and floral scent. It is primarily used in spiritual practices to cleanse and protect spaces. It is a younger and softer, okay, it is a natural tree resin that sits in an intermediate state of hardening, younger and softer than amber. Okay.
Yeah, it's another resin. This is the one that I was talking to you about.
Yes.
These
gorgeous
petals, and it just burns really nice. You know, I have the larger sage, just the regular larger sage. This one's my favorite right now. And then I do burn like daily, a few times.
Oops, we got a glitch in the internet there. There he goes.
There.
Okay.
Palo Santo is one of my favorites.
Yes,
for all of
that.
You know, if I'm in a study, do a little research, I'll just, you know, have that burning. And for any reason, you know, the Palo Santo is amazing. You could find that anywhere, you know, but these are some of the products that I have when I do my vendor events. And a lot of my friends purchase a lot of the sage products from me. I have a lot of friends who are tarot readers and an astrologist, and they just love all that. And so I make sure to gift them some as well so that they could have that for them.
Yeah.
One of my biggest sellers right now, and I think I mentioned it last time, is some of my soap. My soap.
Yes.
Yeah, some of the soap. The moringa and dandelion is still one of everyone's favorite. I love this as well. I make that with, I put a little tea tree oil, and it's in a coconut base. And I also have butterfly pea for women, for beauty. And I make sure, my mom has a garden as well, and she shares some of her flowers with me. And I actually add myrrh resin. We all know that myrrh resin is also a beauty product for women. It's been used for thousands of years in Egypt for, you know, so. And then I have an exfoliator. I'm not sure if you ever tried that one. I'll have to share with you.
Oh, I don't think I've tried that one.
A full body creosote body scrub. It's just an exfoliator for dead skin from head to toe. Actually, I'm lying. From neck to toe. I wouldn't recommend on your face because it is. It does have some of the creosote leaf in it, and I wouldn't want, since you know our skin has thinner. Our skin is thinner, and so we should really be careful what we put on our face. But
actually, right now, I'm not going to try anything on my skin because of what I'm doing right now.
Yeah.
Between the Golden Child Healing Salve and the black seed oil, I'm good for right now.
Well, yeah, that way you know what works. You know,
Yes.
You're just every day adding something different. You're not going to know if it's going to work for you.
Did that work or not? But and I'm just touching my skin, and I can touch it now. Which before it was like so dry. So yeah.
I'm so glad that's working for you.
Finally, I found it. Yeah, so you've got those products, and you will have them at June 7th market and June 20th market.
That's right.
So, what was the question? Will you have any plants this Sunday?
So I know that the last time I had sunflowers, and I believe it was nasturtium that I had.
Yes, you did.
And so now I'll have sunflowers, and I'll have some moringa trees.
Yes.
You have moringa trees and sunflowers and some herbs. I planted peppermint and lemon balm and cayenne pepper. So I'm hoping to have those too.
Oh, wow. Okay.
They're growing.
And I'm going to work on the smoothie. So I mean, on the Smoothie Connect flyer so that I can post it and get more logos on it. However, if you can see the lower left-hand side is Chasing Hawks Botanicals logo. So it's beautiful. I really like it.
I don't know if I'll have plants on the 7th, but definitely for the 20th.
20th.
I think they'll be, I need to give them a couple more weeks to grow.
Okay. However, there might be, if things work out and we see you on Thursday, there might be a few things brought in that you can plant quickly that we could sell.
Yeah. Yeah, we can try something like that.
You have to let me know if you need soil or anything, but I definitely, because mine are going well, and I was going to go out and grab the moringa tree, but I'll do that later before you leave today. I'll show you what the one I got from you looks like now. So I'm so excited.
The gentleman that you sat next to in my class, my moringa class, he sent me a photo last week. I was so happy to see it. He actually finally put it in the ground, and it's growing really nice. It looks really good.
Oh, good, good.
Yeah. So that was exciting to see.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. I know I've shown you mine, and it looked like it was dying, and then all of a sudden 2 shoots come out. And it's like, oh, thank you, thank you, thank you. You know, I was so excited to see that it was still going, and it looked pretty good today. Mm-hmm. But it's encouraging me to get it in the ground, and I'm preparing the soil, so hopefully I'll have it in the ground soon. So June 7th and June 20th. So Rose will be at both, and we're looking forward to it. Rose will be doing speeches at both as well. And I know I haven't really talked to her about it, but on Sunday she'll be starting at 9 o'clock, and on Saturday the 20th she'll be starting at 10 o'clock. So please let your friends know to come in to watch that, especially if you've had anyone who's been through what she's been through. And I'm not just talking that person, but the family is very important that they hear this too, that they understand what the person with the illness went through. Okay. They know what they've gone through during it, but they don't know what that actual person, oh, I'm fine, I'm fine. That's all they're going to get from that person, because whoever's dealing with it, they don't want to hurt anybody else or make them feel sorry for them or anything like that. Now, that's not everybody. That's not everybody, but for the most part, it is. So, what was that? Oh, okay. Using a lot of super scrub with sugar and olive oil in a jar. Okay. That works for you.
I'm using brown sugar, and I'll mix it with a little castor oil, and I'll do like a lip scrub, or you can do quite a lot of stuff. It all works, you know. They do sell them at the store. You could go to Sephora and buy, you know, but you could also do it from your home.
You can make your own.
You can make your own.
And if you don't want to make your own, call those and say, I would like this. Speaking of, do you have any moringa tincture working?
Moringa tincture.
Tincture. I'm always asking you for the.
But yeah, thanks for reminding me. But I will use them definitely. I'm going to make it. I just have not gone out to just. I've been so busy, but I need to go out and get the vodka.
Oh, well, thanks. Just pick up some decent vodka, and
Yeah.
bring that with the with whatever plants I decide to pick up at that little market I told you about. So yeah, look
And
forward.
I think I'm not gonna do I'm not gonna talk about so much of the breast implant illness over on the event on the 20th, but I do feel like I might add that, but it's gonna be mainly desert inspired
Okay.
native plants and all that good stuff. And maybe talk about a few of the big ones, Palo Verde, mesquite, creosote, and kind of tell them like what you can do with it, remedies that you can do, or like you could make from your home or something like that. Kind of.
Oh, okay. So good. You're keeping it fresh and changing it up a little bit, but yeah. And it also depends on your audience too. If they hear about you and they ask, I'd really like to know more about this, then I know you'll be ready for that as well. Oh, so Llewellyn's moon sign book is helpful replanting in favorable planetary signs. Well, thank you, Sandra. I appreciate that. I'm going to have to look at that because I have a Gemini, and to me, this tree is a Gemini because, like I said, the one stock that started, it was so sad watching it pass away. However, just as it's passing, two little buds off to the side, and that just yeah. So to me, that was my Gemini because it went even for a while, and finally, after the second planting, I have a tree growing in the black bag,
Oh wow.
but it took a second planting for that.
Okay. Yeah, I think that's why I gave you all a little bag with seeds in it. I just wanted everyone to be successful. If it doesn't work, then try it again and keep trying. And I have hundreds of moringa seeds that I can share as well.
Well, hopefully you'll bring them to sell at the market as well,
I can do that.
because
Yes.
God, I might as well sell them too.
Yeah.
You don't have to charge a lot, but still, because we need more and more. You're going to be starting at the arboretum, plantings, and also yeah. And if any of you want help with moringa trees or information on how to plant them, where to plant them, and all that stuff, let Rose know so that she can get a hold of you. And I know that right now she is pruning trees for anyone who she planted them for, or they. How did that work? How did you get started with that?
It was early last year. I gave another moringa class. Actually, I'm giving another moringa class next Wednesday as well over at the Apache Junction Library.
Oh,
It's a free class, and it's just going to be a little shorter than what it was over at Southwest Herb Shop. But so again, with a story, I last year I had the moringa class, and I gave away seeds and all. And a friend of mine, Leslie, she's lives in a like a mobile home park area, and it took her quite a while to grow her tree, but it's about 15 to 18 feet high, and she can't get there to prune it. She's a senior, and she needs help. So she asked me if I could help her, and so I've been going and pruning her tree, and I'll take some of the leaves, and then I'll leave capsules for her, like the moringa in capsule form. So it kind of works out. It's an exchange. So yeah, anyone that has any trouble, problem, I have so much experience with moringa and growing it that I'm pretty sure I could help and just have, give you tips on where to plant it, some of the nutrients, vitamins it might need. But moringas, again, they're resilient, and they love Arizona sun. They love that sunshine, and they are deciduous trees. So in the wintertime, they lose their leaves, but they are so resilient that it'll come right back. So have faith in it, and just, keep it covered during the wintertime, maybe the root area, and it'll always come back. And
Okay.
I've had my trees there for at least maybe about 7 years now, that have been growing, and they always come back. And I'm always able to harvest from them.
So how do you cover the roots?
I don't.
You don't.
I
Okay.
don't, but you can. I don't, definitely, but you can cover them. Especially, I have a friend who just moved back to North Dakota, and that's one of the things that she can do is, how they. I think a lot of people, it's nothing new, but you can cover the root area with a bunch of leaves and protect it, and then put a cage around it and just cover that root so it keeps it nice and warm. I mean, it's better than not doing anything, but I don't think we have to worry about that really here in Arizona.
Not too much.
Just too cold. So yeah, they thrive here. They thrive. I mean, it's been around for thousands of years, and it first, I believe, India is where they originate, is where the moringa originates. Hotter climates.
Yeah.
So yeah, and there's just so much you can do with it. That dip that I made for class, the fruit dip that had moringa in it.
Yes.
Moringa tea, moringa salads, pesto. I mean, there's just so many things that we can do with.
Yeah. And I understand why you don't want to do cookies over at Smoothie Connect. However, if you happen to get your friend's recipe for the hemp and moringa, I would love to have those, and those would be great over on the 20th. Just a thought.
I could totally ask her. Yes, she does. She works a lot with hemp, and she adds it in a lot of her foods and her recipes. And the moringa cookies came out so good. I think she even added a little dark chocolate to them too.
Yeah, they were really good.
Yeah.
You mentioned, Sandra, the fertile times for to plant, and I can tell you, Arizona does not uh, subscribe to anything normal. Like I said, we have 7 planting seasons here. There's not too many places in the world that has 7 planting seasons. So, as far as it being in Leo, I know you're talking the moon, which is great, but then the earth signs, Aries, Leo, Sag. Now, oh, and the inserts. Leo, Sag, Aries, Leo, and Sag being the fire signs, not as much. And I can definitely understand that. But again, we're just like our time zone, we're totally different than any place else in the world. So, and you've been here since you were born, right?
Mm-hmm. Yes.
How many generations have been here?
3.
3 generations. Wow, that's a lot.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah, as I say, I've been here a lifetime, just not my own.
Yeah, I was born and raised in Tempe, and I did move out of state once, and I lasted 2 months, and I was like, nope, I'm going right back home.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love Arizona. I love it. I love the heat. Well,
Yeah, it's a part of me now, so, but I still want trees. I just want a lot of trees. So moringa is a tree, people. I'm just saying.
yeah, and they give great shade. It depends on how you grow it and how if you want the leaves to be, if you want it to be a bush, it could be a bush, and you're going to access the leaves a lot easier. But like I myself like to, prune the bottom so it gives a nice shade, and you're still able to get on a step stool and get your leaves off of it. But so many things, and we do need that shade, especially for our pets that are outside as well, and all that stuff. But we do need quite a bit, and we can grow a lot of trees. You just plant a lot in your backyard, and you can make your own little paradise. And
it does create an ecosystem. It really does. And I've been working with ChatGPT to find out different ways of planting. And it's got a hot zone, a cool zone, and moringa in between. So hopefully, Rose will be able to incorporate that in some of her plantings as well. And I know I'm working on doing that around my house, trying to figure out, okay, west versus east versus north versus south, because it depends on where your home is located. What's going to work for you.
Yeah, because even people, let's say, and we're in Mesa, where I'm in Mesa, you know, people from Phoenix or Superior, and the water table is going to be different, and you know, the level is going to be different everywhere. So, one interesting thing that I learned over at the Boyce Thompson for the food forest is that we're not just going to plant, or we shouldn't just plant seeds from, you know, wherever. You can't just order them from Oregon, for example, and plant them here. They only want seeds that are from a mile radius because that makes more sense. You know, harvesting the leaves and then harvesting the seeds, excuse me, and planting them at the food forest, only a mile radius from that area. It makes sense. You know, just like us, it makes sense. Like us and our bodies, we're in the desert, you know, we're resilient like the desert. We use that. It's just the same as plants, you know, it's just everything that's in local is going to work better for us.
Yeah.
Plants.
Like sticking with local honeys. If you go traveling and you happen to have somewhat of a respiratory problem when you get there, find some local either bee pollen or honey and take a teaspoon of that, because it'll help you acclimate to the climate a lot quicker. And also insects that might be in the area. We'll say mosquitoes. Like when I go to Texas, I said, are the mosquitoes biting yet? No, not yet. Yeah, they are. My arm had just, yeah, they decided to start biting, but I'm not from there anymore. So getting some honey, local honey, immediately, or having the family member have it ready for you when you get there, taking a dose of that will help you be more acclimated to the area. Your body would be better off. That's sort of like what you're talking about. You're here, we're here, we need this medicine, not medicine from Texas here in Arizona. We don't need it.
Exactly. So. Exactly. It makes a lot of sense, for sure. It makes it easier too. You know, makes it simple for us to do research on some of the local plants and that we have here and see how it works, you know.
And do you know of any bee producers in the area, or does Boyce Thompson have anything?
You know, actually, we just had a Zoom meeting for the Desert Abundance, and there was a beekeeper on there. And so I know that they're looking to have him go out and help us with that area and probably get some bees in there so that we can have some good pollinators to grow our food forest. I don't know of any myself. I do order sometimes 5 gallons of honey, local honey. I have a friend of mine who she's in her 80s. She's amazing. She's just this lady that she drives all over the place. But I know she goes out to, I think he's in Phoenix, and he has a honey farm there, whatever he has going there. But she's able to sell it in like 5-gallon quantities. So good stuff, and a variety actually. I'll let you know who she is.
Sounds good. Sounds good. Mm-hmm. So, are there? Oh, Victor says you'll love Sweden. Best time of the year is June through September.
Sweden. Oh.
But we're keeping her this year because she's got a lot of work going on.
Maybe next year. But I'm not well traveled at all, and but I plan to be. I'd love to visit different areas and I did get invited to give a moringa class in North Dakota as well. So we'll see how that plays out.
Wow, where in North Dakota?
I'm not sure exactly where. I'm not sure exactly where, but that's
We'll
where.
have to talk about it. My son is in Sioux Falls.
Okay.
Son and granddaughters. So, and
Oh,
his wife.
yeah.
Yes, Shelley and Sheldon. So, but yeah, that sounds like fun. Yeah, anytime you have to go anywhere, that sounds great. And hopefully you'll be traveling more. Sound good. Hope yeah, Julie. Yeah, I definitely
Vermland.
Rose. Yes, good. And I'm glad that she's here too, especially with the message. I mean, whatever symptoms you have, if you want to send her an email, and her email is in the description, is also on her website. Um, just send her and see what she says as far as what she suggests for the herbs and spices that might be good for you. Because I mean, if we can get everyone off of pharmaceuticals, we would be so much better off. We really would.
Definitely. We would extend our lives, I believe. So, for sure.
And less toxins will end up in the groundwater as well.
Yeah. Sometimes you can get a prescription for a certain ailment and it's actually doing damage on another organ. So it's just, so it's like you have to choose, do I want my liver to work or my kidneys or, so yeah, definitely. People with high cholesterol, change your diet.
It's your diet and exercise.
Diet and exercise, you don't really necessarily need that, which I'm not advising anyone to stop their medications or any of that, but do your research,
Mm-hmm.
research and test it out, see what works for you, and you'd be really surprised on sometimes the simple things are what work.
Yeah.
Taking a Xanax for anxiety, go outside and sit in the sun for 15, 20 minutes. I promise you, your mood will change. You feel so much better, and it'll light you up.
And if you like water, put a bucket of water out there. Sitting in the sun, put your feet in the water. You can put sand or salt in the water too. And there you go. You've got more than one element that's helping you.
You don't need to go to the beach, is what you're trying to say, right?
Yeah. I mean, I would drive down to the Salt River, put my feet in the sand, and I'll be happy. I'll have the sun on me, feet in the sand, cool water running by, piece of cake. You've got all the elements you need: fresh air, sunshine, water, and earth. You need it. You have everything you need.
All of it, all the woo stuff. People will make fun of a lot of the stuff, but that's what works. Sometimes I go in my backyard and I'm clapping my hands. It's just our hands have a lot of the nerve endings and all, and so it's really beneficial. Chinese medicine, they talk about that a lot. Stomping your feet, clapping your hands, raising your arms, all that crazy stuff. I do it all. I do it all because it just makes me feel better. And I just want to age gracefully, and that's my goal. And I want to live as long as I can so I could be here for my children and my grandchildren too.
And she is aging very gracefully. She doesn't look like a day over. I was going to say 25, but I'll be definitely
Can't be too nice.
not much over 30. Really, she doesn't.
I will be 49 on Friday.
Wow, on Friday.
Yes. I'm going to the spa. I got gifted a certificate to a spa, so I'm going to be there in the morning.
But make sure they're using natural stuff.
Yeah, for sure.
Because all the toxins that some of those places use.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and I'll have to talk to you about something else later. But in 3 days we will have our National Day, June 6th. Time's rushing away. Okay, so their National Day is June 6th. And I won't get into our national day at this point because, yeah, it's not a normal year this year. Anyway, not aging is the theme. My theme is reversing age. Okay? My body feels more like 30 than it did when I was 30.
I love that. Yeah.
So I'm feeling much better these days. And now that I can touch my skin again, now that it is not as rough and dry as it used to be, I'm feeling even younger. So who knows? Maybe I'll be 21 soon.
Yes, for sure. I'm pretty sure of it. You're aging well too, Julie.
Yeah.
And your spirit is very young. You are a busy woman with a lot of ideas.
Yes, I do have. I just have to get them to come to fruition. So
They sure will.
yeah, I get to watch them come to fruition. That's the better way to say it. So, uh, thank you for being. Yeah. So anything else that you would like to? What parting words do you have for everybody? So we got
Mm,
about 6 minutes.
Um, Pretty much again, just going back to maybe self-love and for women, just knowing that, like I said, that they're already enough, already enough. And sometimes we, even myself, I don't wake up confident every day. Sometimes every day is different. Sometimes, I could look in the mirror and say, wow, I look amazing today. And other days, maybe I'm like, oh no, I could see what's going on here. And then I'll, try different things, from my home and just like I said, I've just learned to self nurture myself quite a bit. I do foot soaks and um, I studied Ayurvedic medicine as well, so I know about Abhyanga, which is massage from all the way from your head to toe, like face and neck and all that good stuff, and just touching yourself, not in a sexual. I'm not talking about that, but touching yourself and just giving yourself that love and rubbing your elbows and arms in areas that you've never even paid too much attention to. I think that's what helped me as well, like through my healing journey, is just, loving myself and all parts of myself and feeling confident to do so. There's going to be parts and areas that you may not like, but as long as you give it love, and you'll soon learn to love that about yourself. And I think it's when we start aging is when we start having that more of that self-love and confident, and you really don't care about what other people think anymore. Before I used to always care, like what did they think about me, or how did I look, or make sure you have like the best clothes on, or does my hair, doesn't it look good, I'm not going to go to that event or whatever. And now I could throw on a hat and some boots and I'm off. This is who I am, this is how I am, and if you like it, you like it. If you don't, same. It's just that all comes together with self-love and just knowing and having that confidence to do so. And I'm still gaining confidence. Don't think that I don't get nervous, especially with like doing interviews or public speaking. But that's my plan, is I want to get better. And that's something, a goal for myself that I want to work on. And maybe I could look back on some of the interviews that I've done and kind of just acknowledge that they weren't too great, but hey, I had to start somewhere,
Everyone has their first day, as I always say. But the thing is just being you at that moment.
Yeah.
And oh, I didn't like this, I didn't like that. Don't be your worst
Critic.
critique. I
Yeah.
mean, critic. Be realize that hey, this is me. Like I get on here and I just do it. I go with the flow and whatever comes up, which is very important. Like your gardening is amazing that you keep doing it, and you have. How tall are your trees? I was going to ask you, how tall are your moringa trees that have been 7, 8 years old?
They're about, I would say, 18 to 20 feet tall.
Okay,
Hmm.
so they have a lot of shade with them.
They do. They have a lot of shade. And as you know, I might be moving soon. That's coming. That's going to happen. But I hope whoever ends up with those trees, I'll make sure to give them the information so that they can make use, of all that medicine. But wherever I go, I'm definitely going to have a trail of moringa trees that are going to come along with me. I'm always
Yes.
going to have that. So yeah, you can
And
build anywhere.
if the whoever wants to buy them doesn't want them anymore, please make sure you get that they give you all of that stuff, because you are growing them from the trees, just from the trimmings as well, right?
Yes. I don't know if you remember, I took that big Ace hardware bucket to the class, and I wish you could see it now. I'll send you a picture of it. It's just green and beautiful, and it looks so healthy. And it's just, you can get a cutting, 2 weeks later, you'll have leaves. It's just beautiful. It is a miracle tree.
It is. It is so neat to have it. To get, uh, you can do your own facelift. You don't need to have to get a facelift, but start with internally, Victor. Love yourself, and I know you say it all the time, but are you practicing it, Victor? Are you practicing? Because it does take practice. So, and you're gardening, and you're learning new things with your gardening. So, I'm just so excited. I cannot wait to see in one more year the difference in your life, because it's going to be remarkable.
So,
And thank you for coming in and telling us about this and helping us understand that the Western doctors do not have all the answers. You have to check your body often. And the practice of touching yourself, it's to find out what's going on. You can go internally as well, but to me, that's just so great that you have a wide range of modalities to call in to figure out what's wrong.
right. And that was all through trial and error. If one thing didn't work, you just keep trying other remedies. And yeah, I'm so excited. As like you said, there's so many things happening right now, and I just know that this message is going to get to someone. And even if it just helps one person to sit and do the research, then I'm fine with that. But at least I feel like it's my mission to do that. And I'm so grateful that you let me be on your podcast. And
Yeah, anytime you got new products, you do a brick and mortar, whatever. Oh, when you do your gardenings, Boyce Thompson, I'll be out there. Let's do some videos. I think it's amazing. So I'm just looking forward to everything you're doing, and everything anyone's doing, because I am here for you. I want to stuff how not belong to me. Yes, good. Um, I want to promote everyone who has a story to tell, because we need the connections, we need to share, and we need to be inspired to inspire.
so true.
My okay, would have only relied on Western medicine, I wouldn't be here today. They tried everything but couldn't stop her allergic reaction to me until she found a native medicine woman. Oh, thank you for that, KK. And there are a lot of people who are allergic to their pregnancies. I've heard of it, I've watched it happen. So, yeah, recommended herbs. And you've got more of a story to tell, KK, than I knew. So, thank you for that. And that's another one to add to yours, too. Have you worked with any um, indigenous? I would say native, but
I have. My mom is actually a Yaqui Indian here from the
oh,
Sonoran Desert, and so I do know quite a few people who practice native, especially Yaqui. I have a few friends that have tried to teach me the language as well. I don't remember any of it, but I think that when I have more time, I'd love to learn more remedies too. Since they're here from the desert, and it's part of my ancestors, and I would love to be a part of that and just keep learning. Yeah.
Thank you guys so much. I really appreciate everyone coming in.
Okay.
Again, okay, Susan is going to have a mediumship class tomorrow night at, yes, Rising Phoenix Spiritual Church. She will be back on Saturday, the 6th at Rising Phoenix Spiritual Church. And on Sunday, we, meaning the community, Rose will be there, Linda will be there, Trish will be there, Susan will be there, Don will be there. A lot of us will be there celebrating the birthday of Smoothie Connect. So we'd love to have you there as well. And reminder of that, 28 North Ironwood.
Come get your free smoothie.
Yes, please. And come say hi to us. We have lots of hugs to give, and love to see you, love to take pictures with you. So anybody in the Phoenix area, please come and see us. Phoenix, Metropolitan, it's Pinal County, um, Arizona at large. Just please, we'd love to see you.
Thank
So,
you, Julie. I will see you soon.
yeah, and I'll be back with you in just a second.
Oh, okay.
Thank you guys. Have a good one.